everybody, it's Emma. Today I wanted to film for you the Authortube newbie tag. I know it was only maybe a week, 2 weeks ago that I did the booktube newbie tag, but my intention on this channel is to do a little bit of both. A little bit about the books I love to read and a little bit about writing. It feels a bit weird to be talking about the book I've written and wanting to be a writer, because it's only fairly recently that I've started to talk to people about having written a book. And I don't know, it just seems like when you say to somebody, well, I wrote a book, there's something about it that feels a bit odd, especially when I'm not published. So it kind of feels a little bit like I'm bearing my soul, and I'm still not quite used to it. And I guess you're used to saying to somebody, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, well, I'm a nurse. Or, you know, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, well, I'm writing. I just find it a bit odd. Anyway, so this is me coming clean to the world. Question 1, how did you find out about Authortube? Well, I started watching videos, in fact it's been a while where I've been reading things of like people getting published, and I have relatively recently, maybe the last 6 months or so, started to watch Jenna Moresi, and then that kind of snowballed into me watching other Authortubers and other booktubers. And it's just been so interesting finding out the different routes into publishing that people have taken and the different things that they write. But I suppose as my interests changed and publishing a book seemed more real, I started to search on YouTube about, well, how to do this, or other writers and what have they done. So, but I think really the first one I subscribed to and followed was Jenna Moresi. 2, what genre do you write in? The book that I have written is narrative non-fiction. I hope in the future to write in other genres, but at the moment this book and the next couple that I'm planning out will be narrative non-fiction. 3, what's your preferred writing tense? I like writing first person because I feel like it feels like somebody's telling you a story. I like reading first person. I feel like I get more involved. You feel like that person's actually talking to you, and I really like that. 4, are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? Is that how you pronounce plantser? I don't know. I am probably a plantser. There's a certain amount that I do just see how things evolve. I think I don't want to plan everything meticulously and then not allow things to be more organic. And there are certain parts where I like to just write and see where it goes. But I am also a keeper of notebooks and lists. And so there is a certain amount of plotting out. I also tend to leave myself notes while I'm writing, and kind of if I think about something that I want to write later on, then I'll just leave myself odd notes to follow later. So I probably am a little bit of both. But you know what, I'm really new to this, and my journey through the book I've written, the way that I've worked through it has changed progressively. I've learned so much that I think the next book that I write, which I'm just in the infancy of doing, I will do differently. And I feel like every book I would do differently because, as I say, you learn and you want to try different things too. 5, are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I am yet to be published. 6, what publishing company, literary agency and or printing company are you represented by or use, and if you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? Well, I'm represented by the Canterbury Literary Agency. That's actually quite hard to say. Canterbury Literary Agency. Didn't look hard, but it is hard. And I am awaiting news from a publisher, so at the moment I don't want to go into too much. I hope in the next week or two to be able to tell you what's happening and who's publishing my book. So I'm sorry, I am actually going to leave that one half unanswered right now, but I'll have the answer for it. I'll have the answer soon for you. 7, what Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? I would like to, because I write non-fiction, I intend to make videos about the subject I'm talking about as well as the book itself. So as I'm learning things and researching things, I would like to share that with you. I would also hope to make videos about what I've learned, because I've learned so much already. I would like to make a video soon about my journey towards becoming a writer, because the book that I'm currently hoping because the book I'm currently hoping will be published soon, has taken me 7 or 8 years to write. So, well, not all of that was writing, and I want to explain how that's come about. 8, when did you start writing? Well, this book, when my son was born, so when he was 3 months old, and he's just coming up for 8. I've always written odds and ends, articles for things, and I would always write books when I was a kid, and, you know, make a little booklet stapled together. Yeah, I have been published before in magazines, a magazine, one that I can think of. I'm trying to think if I've been published elsewhere. I've been published in a journal as well once. And I've done, during my degrees, I've done a lot of academic writing as well. So over the years, I've done different kinds of writing. But as I say, in terms of publishing, I've been published in one magazine, one journal. And I think that's it. 9, what was the first story you ever wrote? Do you know what? I used to have the actual book, and I've misplaced it somewhere. I used to keep everything, and I've had a lot of big clear outs over the years, and this one's gone walkabouts at some point. I wrote a book when I was, I don't know, I must have been 4 or 5, and it was called Jenny and the Giant, and it was something like that Jenny went walking with her dad, and then her dad died, or like the giant ate him or something like that, and then she went off and was friends with the giant. Nicely morbid. 10, what authors have inspired your writing the most? You know, I don't think I could pinpoint one particular writer, and I suppose it would depend what kind of genre I was writing in, but I try to write as if I was talking to you, and so that it has my voice, but I suppose you do learn styles and the formatting, and I suppose the thing is as well, my books work differently because in non-fiction you're not necessarily looking so much for a plot with like a denouement, and I feel like that how you put a story together would be what you would pick up from another writer, whereas I'm more presenting facts in a way, trying to present facts in a really interesting and inspiring way. And I can't, as I say, I've read a variety of books and I've learnt something from all of them. I can't pinpoint one particular writer. Question 11, do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? A little bit of both. I tend to write as I'm putting my baby to bed, as I showed in my vlog about balancing life, or if I'm feeding her during the day, I'll try and find time then. So in a way it's scheduled because it's scheduled around when I'm feeding her, so therefore I've kind of got my hands free to be on my laptop, or in the evening once the kids are in bed as well. I don't have any other opportunities to write, so it's almost a mixture between when I can find the time and also scheduled, because the times when I can find the time are kind of scheduled. But if I get the chance to write, then I do write. 12, do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I write on my laptop, and because I like to be able to go back and correct. I've recently bought a new laptop, which is very exciting. I bought the MacBook Air, which I really love. Before that I had like a really, really old Acer. Is it Acer? Asus. And the power had gone on it, but yeah, so I've bought a new laptop, which really helps. But I like to be able to go back and fix things and reread and move things and all of that. However, in the editing stage, I do like to do a hand edit where I print everything off and then I annotate all over it, and then I type those notes up, and if there's extra sections I've written, then I type those up. That's probably the only part where I put handwriting into that. And I write generally either in bed or sat on the sofa, or in the car sometimes to use up the opportunity if we're driving somewhere far away. But the place I write the most often is in bed because it means I can have my notes spread out around me, and also quite often I am feeding a baby, so it just gives me kind of space and comfort, so that works really well for me. And question 13, what are you most looking forward to now you're a part of Authortube? Since joining BookTube, I've learnt just how lovely a community can be on the internet. That's what I'm looking forward to, is being able to interact with other people and talk to other authors about what they're writing and how they're writing it, and learn from them, and and get to know people. I've really enjoyed doing that since starting the booktube side of my channel, so I'm hoping it's going to be the same for Authortube. As I said at the beginning of the video, this all still seems very odd to be being honest about this writing project that I've been working on for so long, and the fact that this is what I want to do. I mean, I've always wanted to be an author, and actually I found a notebook recently where I'd written, I think I was 8 when I wrote it, and I'd written when I grow up I want to be an author. So like I actually have, you know, proper proof that that's how I felt and that's what I wanted to do. This is my dream career, and you know, I finally found something I wanted to write about, and I feel just has so much potential, and I just hope it's everything that I want it to be, and I really want to share all of that, just that journey and how I feel about it. And it's been just a fascinating few years of learning about the industry, but also the process of writing and what that does, because it, you know, it comes from my heart. I'm looking forward to sharing that, and like I said, being able to hear other people's stories too. Anyway, later this week I want to make another Authortube video. Ultimately I want to kind of do one booktube and one Authortube video a week, or that's going to be the vague idea, but I have another Authortube video I want to make, hopefully Thursday, Friday, where I am going to talk about the journey that I've been on. I feel like I've overused the word journey, the process. I don't know, I should be better at words really, shouldn't I? Please like if you did, please subscribe for more videos like this one. A little bit of booktube, a little bit of Authortube, a little bit of whatever's interesting me and I want to talk about. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye! The cows have found me. I'm being looked at by cows. Stop looking at me. I'm being told off by the cows. I'd best go.